Hello, and it's Erica again. Welcome to another one of our DemoPlus demonstrations. And today I'm going to use a stamp set that's brand new from Creative Stamping magazine. That's issue 35. And there's some really gorgeous stamps on here. Really lovely. Obviously some of them that you can build with, and that's what I'm doing today. So today I'm using the poinsettia, the word Noel, the two pine boughs. So let's get started. Take those away. We don't need those in the way. Actually, I can take those away because you can see the ones I've used. I've already got them out ready for use. So that's the poinsettia. That's the poinsettia, and those are the two boughs, pine boughs. So I've done a little mock-up just to get an idea of where I want to place my stamps. Already I can see I prefer the stamp turned round, and that Noel has got a little bit more room in that space. So, but it's a really good idea to always do a mock-up just to get an idea of what you want to do. So I've already cut the card to size and it's ready to go onto a red background, which is then onto a cream pearl card. The reason I've done this is it gives me a better idea of sizing. When I'm doing this kind of design where I'm working into the corner, it's better to have the size exact rather than cut it down afterwards. It gives you an idea for placement. So the first one I'm going to do is that poinsettia in the corner. So, like I said, this time I'm going to do it the other way round. I'll have a wet wipe handy because can you see that on my fingers and on the edge? That's guaranteed a smudge on your card. So always have the wet wipe handy just to make sure you don't do that. Right, so the first stamp I'm going to do is the poinsettia, and I'm going to put it into this corner. So we'll just ink it up. And I'm going to do it up this way, like I said, and just place that in the corner. There we go. So we've got a nice clear impression. We're going to do some masking. So I've already got a couple cut out. It's very thin copy paper, and I've just put a little bit of Hermer repositionable glue onto the back just to keep it in place. So we'll put that there. So we've got that in place. Then I'm going to use the Versafine again and stamp the flower next to it. So I'm doing it upside down to make it look like a different flower. And again, nice even pressure all over. Because you've got the piece of paper next to it, you have to make sure you press hard next to where the paper is, otherwise you'll get a gap. There we go, nice even imprint. I'm going to do another one. So I've got it all inked up, and I'm just going to place it in here. And again, I think I'll turn it again. This time maybe not use so much, just use half of it. Let's see what that looks like. So pressing nice and hard, because like I said, on that edge of the paper you don't want it to have a gap. Right, so now I've done my 3 flowers and I want to add some of the pine to it. So now I need all 3 masks. I'm putting that one down on there. You can see I've already used these ones. And then that one down on there. It's nice and easy to match these up because the lines are so different. So you can, there's a big, nice big leaf there, which is dead easy to match up. So that's our flowers all blocked up. So now I'm using my 2 boughs. Now I've got a little trick to get a really good impression with these clear stamps. A little trick is to use a sanding block and just ever so lightly sand the surface. With clear stamps, it just makes the ink adhere better. I'm using distress inks, which are not known to work well with clear stamps, but when you do this, it just gives it an extra grip, so you can stamp a better image. So first of all, I'm going to use Distress Ink Bundled Sage, and I'm really just filling in. So I can use my sample as an idea about where I want to place the foliage. So we'll start with Bundled Sage. You need to press quite heavily to get these to come out nicely. Does give a lovely look though. Almost look like feathers. Don't worry if any of them don't come out very well, because you can always go over them with a darker colour. So any sort of mishaps can be sorted out. Right, so there we go. There's the first colour down. Now I'm going to use the little one because it's easier to fill in. And I'm going to use, this one's actually called Pine Needles. Be rude not to use Pine Needles ink colour when I'm doing pine needles. So just gonna, now this one's quite fierce, so I can probably get 2 stampings out of the one colour, maybe even 3, yeah, even 3. And if you can see, I'm swiping rather than dabbing, because this one has got a little bit that needs a little extra help with. It's got that little piece in there. Should have sanded it a bit better. And they're just sort of doing it in between. So you've got the, I love doing the multicolours with with green, especially for leaves, because it really does give a real kind of leafy look. Does that make any sense? Probably not. And so finally, I'm just going to go in with peeled paint. Could do with a bit more in that area. Just pick up those bits, because if they smudge, you can see, if you smudge it, you can see what happens. It smudges the thing, so need to be wary of that. So my peeled paint's quite juicy ink. And we'll put some more colours in. Pressing hard so I get that full, there we go. That's filled that bit area in nicely. So hopefully we're nearly there. I'm wondering if I could do just a little bit there, because that one didn't come out too good. Oh, that's better. And then maybe I can just see, give it a quick wipe. We'll redo that one in dark so you can see the difference. That's better. Otherwise it was getting a bit too, sort of disappearing. So I'm just going to quickly heat gun it, just because Distress Ink stays wetter for longer, and I can see some wet patches. And the next stage, I do not want any wet patches. So that's all dry now. So now I can reveal what my poinsettias look like. And fabulous. I'm really pleased with that. Thank goodness. So the next thing I'm going to do is stamp the Noel, but rather than just in black, which was my reference one, I'm going to stamp it in gold, so it has a real, because I've used cream now, I'm using cream, green and red, that gold really suits it. So I've got my Noel ready. I've got my Versamark, very dirty Versamark. Should be white or clear, I should say. They never stay like that though. So I've stamped that up. And then I'm just going to place it and then I've got my gold powder ready. Just want to make sure I've got a nice good impression. Because it's dirty, I can see it at least. There's one positive thing. And I'll try not to put it on the green, because even though I've dried it, there's a good chance that the gold powder would stick to that as well. So just to make my life easier, I'm just not getting the powder on it. So, better put it back. Always a disaster not to. So we've got that ready. I can see a few specks where I don't want it. So with a dry brush, if I can find one, because I've managed to use every single brush I've got, we'll just wipe those bits away. Just in there. I could have made my life easier and put an anti-static pad down or some talcum powder, but that's usually how it goes. I always forget. So I'm just going to heat set that and it'll come to life. I still love watching embossing turn. So we've got a lovely wording on there now and it gives a really nice shine. I'm not too worried about it buckling because it's going down onto a flat card anyway, so that won't be a problem. But what I'm going to show you now is I'm just using, I don't sell these, but these are some of my favourite pencils. They're watercolour pencils called Derwent Ink Tints. I've got two colours of red, poppy red and chili red. So my chili red is a darker red, which I shall put on the bases. And then the poppy red is the lighter red, and I'll just use that on the tips. And it doesn't show, I mean it's okay, but when you put water with it, something magical happens to this colour. Really, really does intensify. Get a lovely vibrant colour. So I'm just going to continue and colour that all in. hope you can see, even though that was speeded up, it really didn't take very long for me to put that together. As a finishing touch, I'm going to add some gold glitter in the centres of the poinsettias. So for this I'm using gold stickles. I'm just going to put some blobs in the centre. Because it's Christmas, you can't not have glitter. But you've got quite a posh card quite quickly. So once it's mounted on to the red and then mounted onto the gold, you can see you've got a really lovely card. So that's it. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you next time.